I just finished The Book That Wouldn't Burn a minute ago. Ran in here and turned on the camera, and I started recording. There are all sorts of feelings I have about this book. Man, it plays on so many different things that I do like and I do go for. The thing that I will say at the end is it's one of those books where at the end of it, you almost have to read through it again. Because it's one of those things where once you kind of get the codex of what's going on at the deeper level, you can kind of, I imagine as I'm already picturing some things that have happened, it'll just make so much more sense the second time. And that's the case with a lot of things, but specifically in books that are like this, that probably are just as interesting on the second time through as they are the first time through. Man, really looking forward to it. But also, man, it leaves a great, great spot to go into the second book. The movies I always think about that do that the best are the Back to the Future movies. And, time and stuff plays a little bit of a role here where this library is very weird in a number of different, like, dimensions sorts of things and, like, time. And Back to the Future at the end where Doc Brown would always just kind of show up. Or Marty would show up to talk to Doc Brown and then, say that, Doc Brown shows up at the end of the first one, but then Marty shows up at the second one, and say they have to immediately go on this next adventure because it's not finished yet. Now, it does give some really strong, powerful moments in this book, which I really did appreciate. But man, I am so looking forward to the next one, which is going to be in 8 days. I'm not going to reread this in 8 days, though I probably could. When I was growing up, I had no problem rereading things back to back when I didn't have more books. And this would have been one of them that if I would have read something like this, I would have done it back to back. Anyway, I'm mentioning that too much. This, as I've mentioned, is a mixture of all sorts of types of books. Now, I don't want to mention each type because I think it would maybe give some things away and some things you don't want to know exactly what to look for, even though it wouldn't give the plot away. There are some things that ought not to be talked about, I think, before you read the book. Other than it has a lot of kind of mystical qualities. It has this, you are seeing a small slice of something clearly larger. It's exciting. Has a couple of the greatest characters. Man, it's a couple of my favorite characters I've read in a while. Something, as you're going through, you will have a number of theories of what's going on. And I'm glad that I was right about a couple of them, but not necessarily about all of them. And this is such a vague way of talking about this. But if you know, like once the codex kind of comes out and you see exactly what's going on, you're just kind of left in this sort of state, which is why I can't really give it a full review other than this would be the kind of movie, if this was a movie, that we would all leave and we would be busy talking about it on the way home. It's like one of those sorts of things. Remember watching The Sixth Sense? Once you leave the theater, you're talking about it the whole way home and pointing out things that have happened. So well done, Mark Lawrence. I really, you got me with this one. I liked it a lot. I For the first half, especially, I was really, really engaged with it. I will say that there was a point between half and the three-quarter mark where I wasn't totally sure if like it could have lost me, but it by the end it certainly didn't, and I felt satisfied with what I read. Now, I'm certainly needing some kind of video discussion to help me understand everything that I did see without going back. It would be nice to get some reminders on some of those finer details of what we read. But yeah, this will be something I definitely reread eventually. Uh, I imagine I will go into the next one with this fresh on my mind, but I may want to wait. I don't know. So, anyway, I give this 2 thumbs up. I know it won't be for everyone because it is a little bit, it can be a little out there. If you're looking for, fireballs and that sort of thing in like a classical fantasy, I wouldn't say this is it. This is like he really took a swing on this one, and it could have fallen flat, I think, but it's my opinion that it didn't, and I really enjoyed it, and I like when a book leaves me feeling like there's more to think about at the end. Some of the themes that are in the book are great. One of the major themes, don't especially want to talk about it so much, but the othering sort of the prejudice of those that we consider as others is one of those, and you see it in a whole bunch of books. I could see maybe how in that regard it was a little heavy-handed, but I mean the plot wasn't just revolved around that one theme. It was much more, and really enjoyed it, and looking forward to maybe looking at a couple of these other reviews of what people thought of this. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.